Game 2 is up between Orbwalkers and Torque. Torque taking Game 1 in commanding fashion off the back of the mid Nyx Assassin play out of Mr. ABC. Pretty dominating in that role. The snowballing Nyx, everybody knows it, but Orbwalkers not going to be dissuaded, sticking to their guns and banning that Outworld Devourer first ban once again. We'll see if they follow up with the same IO ban that they did last time as well. Darkseer removed by Torque. He did make it through in Game 1. Not going to let that happen once again. Perhaps that will indicate down the road. We'll see if that works into being a problem with their lineup, and that's why they removed it. It could indicate that Torque wants to go for that Treant Protector pick. Darkseer, a good choice up against the Living Armor. Going to burn through those charges very quickly. And there's the Nyx Assassin ban. Not going to deal with it once again. So IO is in the pool this time around. But they're going to go straight for Nature's Prophet to kick it off. Going to play this Alliance style. Don't care about tipping their hand. Say, we want them, we'll get them. Gonna kick it off right away with that Nature's Prophet. That leaves Orbwalkers with a plethora of options. They have IO available. You have Gyrocopter as well, Lifestealer, Treant Protector as mentioned. But gonna start with Keeper of the Light. Are they going to? They will. Keeper of the Light, Phantom Lancer is the combination immediately out of Orbwalkers. So will Torque now respond with the Gyrocopter pick? You know, the typical choice in response, but no, gonna go with Jakiro. Saw him on the side of Orbwalkers, see if Torque can make a little more happen in this one.
Seconds remaining. Reserve time. Bad dudes banning someone now.
And now Gyrocopter is actually banned by Torque along with Tinker. Tinker not wanting them to be being split pushed by both Phantom Lancer and Tinker, as well as the turtle potential of having both March of the Machines and Illuminate. Gyrocopter's surprising that they're removing that, but last time around, especially considering last time around it was Torque that was making use of him, as well as effectiveness against Phantom Lancer. Flat Cannon going to burn through those illusions relatively quickly if you're doing a good amount of damage, along with Call Down. A lot of AoE, a lot of multi-target damage. Rocket Barrage could even be included in that to some degree. Shadow Demon Band out, often very effective as well against Phantom Lancer, able to create up his own set of illusions and proc his own army. And then Rubik.
Radiant team pick.
So you get into this next set of picks. Lion.
Dire team pick.
Just a solid all-around support, if not a little squishy, but talking about squishy, Crystal Maiden. Torque picks it up. Now the buff in 6.78 was basically a doubling of the mana you get from Arcane Aura, up from 0.5 and 1 at level 1 and 2 to 1 and 1.5. So level 1 you get full mana 1 mana regen per second. Compare that to a Basilius Ring, which is 0.65.
Reserve time.
Queen of Pain.
And Queen of Pain will be the selection in toward mid. That leaves just an offlaner for Orbwalkers to figure out. Pugna. Well then. Torque. Looks like they're Pyrian Flax fans. Hard to say. Period. Flax fans. Pugna going to be the selection. It'll be fun to watch. Pugna off in toward mid, and considering that we already have Jakiro Crystal Maiden, very much looks like the case, meaning Torque just need to round out their lineup with a hard carry of their own for that safe lane.
Dire team banned.
We'll have to wait and see on that one. So you see the final ban outs. Anti-Mage, not going to want to deal with that. With AM out farming Phantom Lancer earlier on. And then Torque, they're going to remove Weaver.
Radiant team pick.
So looking for an offlaner out of Orb Walkers. Would not mind Clockwork in this position, but gonna go with Windrunner. So if we look at the lineup out of Orb Walkers, a bit squishy. Queen of Pain, Windrunner, Lion, Keeper of the Light, all fit that description. And then Phantom Lancer, not so tanky himself. He gets some innate magic resistance from his ult, but if you can find him, you can burst him down. And then finally, Mr. ABC with Undying as the last pick. And they're looking at a push-centric strat with Pugna, Jakiro, and Nature's Prophet all contributing to that. Decay should combine up with that Arcane Aura very nicely, but this will be interesting not only to see how they approach the mid game, but how they actually approach the laning. Speaking of which, let's talk about this lineup for Torque. First up, that Crystal Maiden is on Fireblood. Wolf, Jakiro will head out towards bottom. That's ridiculously Tiny P. Mr. ABC going out toward bottom as well on the Undying. Waiting to see where Wabu's going to head out. And then Brocrates going toward mid on the Pugna. It's actually looking like an aggressive tri-lane with a farming Undying along with Jakiro and Crystal Maiden.
30 seconds.
Then, for Orb Walkers on the Radiant, we have No Pity on the Keeper of the Light headed out toward top. Looking to block a camp with the Observer Wards. And then Phantom Lancer, played by Faya, joined up by Duxie on Lion.
Man or woman up.
And set to solo safe lane is Scaff on Windrunner, with Ride the stand-in toward mid on Queen of Pain.
The eternal struggle betwixt creep and creep lumbers on.
So they were looking to play an aggressive tri-lane to attempt to fight up against the Keeper of the Light Phantom Lancer and shut down the PL early. And then just leave Wabu up early to farm, and then 5-man push shortly. It's certainly very difficult up against Keeper of the Light, though. So perhaps a 4-man push plus Wabu split pushing would be the idea.
Hands make light work.
But ends up dodging. I'm not sure whether or not Orb Walkers had the decision that they wanted to aggressive tri-lane, or if they decided that they were going to be up against one and dodged. So as it is, we're going to wait and see if there's any rotation. Duxie already on the move. That's leaving the two of them there. No vision up here out of the Dire. The wards are down toward bottom, and this could lead to a kill in mid on Brocrates. Right out of position, though. Not moving in just yet. There's the ping. Are they going to go? Not initiating yet. And taking a lot of time here. It was pushed up. Brocrates was a bit far up. Another ping saying to go. And neither side of this equation willing to initiate. There we go. There's a Shadow Strike. In comes Duxie behind the scenes and gets the Earth Spike. Ride gets the last hit, and that's first blood going the way of Queen of Pain. That'll help out a lot in towards mid. Spirit Lance thrown out on Wabu, up 1v2 here. So far getting his levels though. But Spirit Lance is off a cooldown. He may as well just be throwing it at every opportunity. And force him right out of lane. Like this bottom lane, they may be trying to push down this tower early. TP in from Have No Pity, gonna help hold out this tower. And so far, Wabu not really being pressured up here. And ends up doing very well in terms of experience compared to opponents in the lane. Actually out leveling the Phantom Lancer right now. Once again, Duxie moving in to gank in towards mid. Double damage is activated. But the coordination not really there. First spike used, but not coming together quite as well as the first time around, and not able to bring him down. Down bottom, we've got a dual lane going now with Scaff and Have No Pity. See how long they hang out there. Gotta be careful. Right now, no aura coming out of Crystal Main just yet. There's the jump in, and once again, Duxie far away and can't help. The coordination on these mid ganks not really there so far. They did start it off with a kill though, and that is the only kill on the board so far, closing in on 5 minutes. The game time. Bottle up an illusion rune. Jump in, Scream of Pain, Sonic Wave. Used one more right click. No, actually decrepifies himself. Can he turn it around? He does! Big turnaround. They're actually going to get both. Brocrates with the double kill. With just a little help from the tower and creeps. Down bottom, Scaff getting low, but we'll get away.
Yo, green dudes, something bad is happening. In your bottom, radiant structures are fortified.
As it is. A lot of rotations, but ends up being relatively even early on. But the thing is, there's Phantom Lancer getting farm and not really anything coming out from Torque, and they're gonna have to make their push work. Illuminate gonna fly. Mr. ABC caught out. That'll be a kill, evens up the score there, and the CS is the main thing. The Phantom Lancer on top of the board by a good margin. And I'm not sure what they're going to really... I'm not sure what the plan right now is out of Torque. Their carry potential is tied up in Nature's Prophet, Hugna, and Undying, which isn't really the carry potential that you want late, especially against a Phantom Lancer. Something has to happen earlier on than that, but hasted in Ride. Scream gets frostbitten. Shadow Strike will get the kill. Actually, Windrunner snipes that one. Have No Pity getting brought down by the tower. It ends up being 2 for 1. Crystal Main does go down, but they get 2 for it. So the dives coming out of Ride not working quite the way he wants. Via opting for treads as his first item. Agna with arcane boots. Power shot. 5 HP on Mr. ABC. Going to get salved up. Salve will be cancelled. No right click there. Have No Pity continues to run, eats himself through the trees. Power shot misses. Invis activated on Ride. Then turns around, going to change his sights, set them on Brocrates in towards mid. And I hope to have a change of fortune. Earth Spike used. Ride. There's a Scream. Sonic Wave, and that's it.
Death travels faster.
No chance for Brocrates that time around down bottom. Ice Path throwing out. Have No Pity. Caught with that. Gonna try and continue to run. Slowed down by the Crystal Nova. Now right click by Mr. ABC. Dual Breath thrown out. That's enough. Wabu just gets there at the end. Doesn't really end up accomplishing anything. Now Duxie a little far up, but will not be caught. A lot of pings. Up top. Now the tier 1 tower going to be pressured. Will he be able to bring it down? Probably not this wave, but if he continues to pressure, shouldn't be too long. In toward mid, we have an Ice Path over 2. Duxie gets very low, brought down. Actually gets off the Finger of Death. And that able to bring down Mr. ABC. Ride goes down as well. Have No Pity being killed by the Tombstone Zombies. Now a tier 1 will be brought down. And that's a 3 for 1 trade in that case. So the trades are starting to work in the favor of Torque, and they're starting their big push.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Bad dude's top tower gonna fall over soon.
Power shot flying by Scaff. Looking to hold out this tier 2 still. About 3rd health at this point. Up top, continuing to push on this tower. Looks like Faya will get it. Looking for that final right click. There we go. And that's a tower going the way of the Phantom Lancer. Net worth well on top of the board, 4,200. Sitting on 2,400 net worth. Actually just noticed that Frostbite has a very similar sound to the TP sound from Nature's Prophet. But that's a tier 2. Managed to push in tier 2 mid. Pre-11 minutes, looking good for them in that regard. Tier 1's bottom and top still the case as we see the ping to defend bottom out of Orb Walkers. Got the Nether Ward down. 10 seconds remaining on that. As Wabu farms up the jungle.
Yo, green dudes, something bad is happening in your bottom.
Gotta be careful. at only 316 health. Continuing to try and push in, but it is going to be very tough up against Keeper of the Light and Windrunner's power shot. But if you walk right in, a macro pirate may be too much. 2 down because of that. A little too far forward there. And that ends up being 2 costly deaths. No damage coming to the tier 3 at this point. They don't need to be giving those away. We look at the gold starting to swing one way very quickly, over 2,000 gold. Experience evening up. Both the way of Torque. Another Illuminate coming out. Doesn't quite clip Brocrates. Spirit Lance thrown out as well, trying to go. Dodges the Ice Path. Soul Rip and Zombies doing some damage. Sonic Wave used. Not able to bring anyone down with it. And this is a position that Torque wants to be in, having to force Fire back to defend. As we have a pause. Mistaken disconnect. Not in the game. The defense up top, and not going to continue to try and push into this tier 3. Everybody got a bit low, but even though nobody actually got brought down.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Some warning going out. And the game plan for Torque is going to be to continue to systematically push down all the towers and into tier 3. And keep the pressure on and prevent Fire from getting particularly big, as we see the Diffusal Blades is 300 gold off of finishing that. Whereas Orb Walkers, it's all about getting him that far, letting him get far enough ahead that there's no real way to stop him. And if it lasts long enough, that will be the case. Be back home, but here comes push number 2. They could end up setting their sights on Roshan. Waiting for that next wave. So far, no Illuminates coming out. Actually, up way too far there for a second, but fortunately, nothing to stop him.
Bottom tower is under attack. Ding dong.
Perhaps hoping for the commit. So may have been intended to bait. Illuminate hits just about everybody. Shadow Strike goes out on Mr. ABC as the rest dive towards that tier 4. 2 go down during that. Windrunner and Lion now have no pity being brought down by the zombies. Triple kill the way of Mr. ABC. Rax on the deck. Fortify is available. Are they going to use it?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
May feel they can't stop it, and they're just going to let it go.
Dire structures are fortified.
And they're going to back up as Mr. ABC slides away. This makes it much worse. A much more difficult task to try and turn this one around, and we'll see the charts jump with the racks going down. Headed towards 7,500 gold. There's another tower down toward bottom. The game plans remain the same for both, though. It's about 4 orb walkers getting up the farm on the Phantom Lancer, and for Torque, making sure they win before that can happen and continue the pressure so it slows him down. Illuminate's still doing a lot of work, but caught forward. Frostbite going to slow him down. Dual Breath as well, and down goes Have No Pity once again. Wildfire trying to split push doesn't really it isn't really at the point where he's pushing extremely fast. Right now, Have No Pity could really use 2 more levels. Seeing it only level 2 and Illuminate opting to max Chakra first. Acropyre throwing out as the tier 2 is getting just whittled down at 260 health now. Meanwhile, continuing to split push up top. As Wabu coming in through the back.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Can't really 1v1 him at this point. Gonna throw in some trees though. And I'm not sure if this is the best idea. Via opting not to attack him. There's a Spirit Lance thrown out and just focuses on the tower. And down it goes. He's able to destroy another one as the tier 2 top goes down. So they trade tier 2 for tier 2. Oh, and the Nether Ward. A lot of damage going because of that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And diving in towards tier 4. Soul Rip brings down the Lion. Tier 3 is still up though. And this is the time to TP back, but no mana for it. They really need, I think, Windrunner to spot out the Nether Ward and focus that down. But any of the ranged heroes really. Illuminate hits Brocrates and does a lot of damage. It's up to level 3 now, 1 more level. Max that out. Brocrates, Spirit Lance gets him low. 29 HP. Now Faya taking a lot of damage, gets caught by Ice Path and Sprouted. And then tries to use a Spirit Lance and dies to the Nether Ward. I'm not sure what the exact range is on the Nether Ward. Oh, it's 1600. Link in from Rye trying to bring down Mr. ABC. No way to interrupt his teleport. Doesn't even try to burst him down. Knows he can't. Back comes a Vitality booster for Faya. Going to opt to look toward a heart. Still trying to hold out right now, though. The net worth, Phantom Lancer now 3rd, does not have that commanding lead in net worth that he once had. still up there, but needs a lot more time and farm than he's getting. Of course, the tier 2 bottom, the last remaining outer tower, is the final target. Not able to quite bring down the tier 3 top. Wabu is hiding, caught in the trees. Has to wait for Nature's Call to burst himself out of there, unless he wanted to TP. Still just hanging out. He's with his people. They spot out Mr. ABC, gonna try and go on him. And he's bursted very quickly. Lion ends up with the last hit there. During that, they try and go on the tier 2 tower, and they're just gonna abandon it. But Fireblood Wolf brought down, gets off his ult for just a second or two. Does some damage. Now gonna back up. Ice Path throwing out, hits on 2. No follow-up there. Faya continuing to try and fight and do damage. Under Shadow Blade is Wabu. And now Faya, no, down. 143, 142, 93, 88. 41 more right click. No, he's going to survive waiting. And they end up with a full team wipe. They lose no one through all of that. And that is an enormous win in a chaotic fight. Dire split up quite a bit. We lost initially Mr. ABC up here, and then we had the Ice Path thrown out, and we have Crystal Maiden caught down here. Meanwhile, we have a fight around here. They chase around the Phantom Lancer up here, and then a lot of damage on whoever's left. Split up on either side of the tower. A lot of running around, not able to burst anyone down. Well, that's exactly what Orb Walkers were doing. Still a long way to go now, but we see hits the 10,000 mark and is starting to come back now, 8,000. And then the experience is actually slightly in the favor of Orb Walkers, as we've had all this 5-man coming out of Torque. Wasn't the most amount of farm coming out of all of that for specifically Faya. Overall for his team, it is a very nice help. But going to go towards this weakened tier 3. 443 health. As Fanlancer are going to split push and take out this tier 1 while that's happening. Does have a TP scroll to head back. They've seen that they can take a fight if executed correctly. Illuminate going to catch everybody. Well, 3 at least. And then a Spirit Lance going to bring down Fireblood Wolf. Bursted down very quickly. Ice Path hits on nobody. Tombstone is focused down. And that's 1 down for just about nothing. They are able to bring down the tower through all of that. Macropyre doing some work. Blinding Light over top. Fire in a lot of trouble. Is brought down thanks to the Macropyre. And now there's 3 left, over 4 now. Now looking for the second set of racks, and that may be too much if they let this go. There's the fortification. Buyback is available, but they're just going to let this go, and I think this is too much.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
2 racks down, this may just about be it. The Sprout on Duxie being brought down, there it is. Desolator is done once he chooses to pick it up. Ice Path does not land, actually it does land on Have No Pity, who's being brought down by Wabu. The creeps get the last hit there by doing what he can. But the push continues in mid as they go in towards the tier 4s. 3 still down. You know, if this was 2 racks down 40 minutes in, I wouldn't say it's necessarily over, but in this case, this is going to be one near impossible fight to turn around at 26 minutes in, when we're sitting on Tread's Diffusal Drums and a VIP booster on Phantom Lancer.
Yo, green dudes, something bad is happening. In your bottom. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Why is this so bloody difficult?
And there's another brought down. Just kind of waiting. This is going to be Mega Creeps with the last set of racks. Wabu may be brought down. Here he is.
Yo, good guys. Middle tower got owned. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Trying to pick up what kills he can.
Radiant's ancient is under attack. We're detecting
Tessellator is up on Wabu. Able to bring down Lion very quickly. Fire! He'll has to use Doppelwalk to get away. Riot able to use Sonic Wave to get a kill. And not quite Mega Creeps. They do kill off the opposing team with their melee racks intact. But the Ancient at 700 health. A lot to ask for to try and turn this one around. So if Radiant is able to hold this out for another 40 minutes, they may be able to turn this around. I know that's what you're all hoping for. Faya is sitting up, sitting on 3,100 gold. And with one more last hit, pick up a Reaver. Yes, indeed, Shiva's on CM for maximum cold. Spirit Lance, just a poke. As they'll continue to try and push in. Phantom Lancer does have a Reaver coming in on the courier. So it'll be tankier this time around. As they look to focus down the racks, no way to stop it. That's Mega Creeps now. Sonic Wave. Not ending up doing a whole lot of work. And now we're up to Fountain. Ancient at 1,100 health. There as the Mega Creeps roll in. And we're seeing the end of the game in just a second. 900 health, 850, 800, 740, 600.
Radiant's Ancient is getting killed.
And there we go. Torque going to take this 2-0. Able to push on through in game 2 and make it for a 30-minute win. Orb blockers and company not able to buy enough time, and that ends up being a 2-0 victory for Torque.